So, guys, I know I have been telling y'all to get new careers, go back to school, learn a trade, do something with AI, and anything in computer and programming. And man, I may have been wrong. You may get to keep your minimum wage cashier job. Anywho, let's hit it.
In the age of digital convenience, self checkout stations were once heralded as a game changer in retail, a tool that promised shorter lines, faster transactions, and reduced labor costs. Nearly every major retailer jumped on board, installing these machines in stores across the country, each one a promise of a futuristic, cost saving solution.
They greet you,
89 cents.
scan your groceries, take your money.
It's really surprising. I didn't even know that they could do scammers on self-checkout.
He says skimmers are placed on existing card readers to intercept data, including your card number and PIN.
In stores right across Canada, but are they more convenient or are they just cumbersome? Now, some retailers are choosing to remove the automated lanes altogether.
But today, there's a surprising twist to this story. Many of these retailers are quietly reevaluating their self checkout strategies, with some even scaling
So I
back.
guess this is in Canada, but hey, this could very well vote in NYC. That's New York City, so no, it's not Canada. Let's go.
Or removing them entirely. So, what happened? How did a technology that once seemed so promising fall out of favor with retailers? The answer lies in a series of unexpected consequences, both financial and social, that have shifted the self checkout landscape. In this video, we'll dive deep into why self checkouts are no longer the profitable innovation they once were thought to be. We'll examine the hidden costs, the impact on store theft, and the surprising toll on customer satisfaction. Could self checkouts soon be a relic of the past? Or will retailers find a way to make them work in today's retail environment? Let's explore.
I know at the HEB that's in our city, they remodeled it, you know, made it bigger and added a few more self checkout lanes, and I added a few more cashier lanes too. But they're rarely all 15 of those are open. But the self checkout most time those are always open. And what's crazy, they have 10 items or less, or 15 items or less. I think 15 items or less is it has the cashiers, and they got like a 25 item or less self checkout. Now, years ago, the big complaint was stores like Second Save, which are no longer in business now. They used to be part of the Carnival and Minyard family. I used to work at Minyard back in the day. Shout out to the old Minyard crew back in the day on Ferguson. But yeah, sack and save. People complain about that because you saving money, but you sacking your own groceries. And I went in there a couple of times just to get a couple of items. I'm not gonna go in there and do a full thing of grocery shopping and sack my own groceries. But then you do it now with Costco, places like that. You get a box and put all your stuff in the box yourself. I guess so. I guess it's the same thing. People came around to it, but sack and save was not a big thing to me because you got people going there getting back in the day now, $200-300 worth of groceries, shopping cart full of groceries, and then you sacking your own groceries. Man, I'm like, nah, I'd rather go to a regular grocery store, let them have a package clerk like I was back in the day, and let them sack my groceries and move on. But yeah, now they got the self-checkout lanes like 25 items or less, and you scan, it goes down the conveyor. And now a lot of times it'll be a guy sitting at the end, making sure everything is straight, but you sack your own groceries. And it's like, man, why am I in here? I'm not on y'all payroll.
While self checkout machines were initially celebrated as a cost cutting measure, the true expenses behind these systems tell a different story. Each machine, on average, costs retailers between $10,000 and $25,000 to install, depending on the model and capabilities. Beyond the initial installation, maintenance and software updates come with recurring expenses that can add up quickly. Just like any technology, these machines require regular servicing to prevent breakdowns.
Y'all get that? Now, see what she just said? These machines require regular servicing, which means I implore you to either do it yourself or get your children into these types of careers: computer programming, engineering, because the same people, like I say, the same way they make these computers and make these programs and this software, somebody has to go back and update them and fix them on a regular basis. And you're not going to be able to do it with a plastic bag in your hand sacking my groceries.
A necessity that becomes even more pressing during high traffic shopping seasons. But the costs don't end there. As self checkout systems gain complexity with AI enhancements and other features aimed at reducing errors, their overall operating expenses increase. Many retailers face growing software licensing fees, cybersecurity measures, and technical support costs.
Another gem, cybersecurity. That's another big field that you should be looking into. See, we can look at it like and say, hey, man, all the grocery store and the fast food jobs are leaving because of these computers, these AI, and this stuff is going to take over and take away jobs. No, I mean, it's going to take away certain jobs, but there are going to be other jobs that open up. Think about something as simple as the car industry, right? Before the car industry, what was it? You had a horse and a carriage. You had I guess a shoe horseman, a horseshoeman, or whatever you want to call it, who would make horseshoes and put them on these horses. Now, once cars, the automobile came in, that guy could be like, man, they taking my job and they ain't gonna have nowhere to work. Well, I mean, if he had a certain age and that's all he know, yeah, he could be right. But he could also just go with the times, because with time comes with change and change comes with time. You learn a new trade. You get into a new field. You figure out what's coming, because it's gonna come, and you stay ahead of it and you roll with the tide.
Which have all risen in recent years. Add to this the expense of managing unexpected customer issues and delays that require employee intervention, and the supposed savings start to look more like an ongoing investment with diminishing returns. The hidden costs extend beyond just money, impacting the customer experience as well. When a machine malfunctions or a complex transaction stalls, frustrated customers often need a staff member to
And this is
assist.
weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I just tonight I went to CVS to buy something and standing in line, and there were like a little family in front of us, and they was in the self checkout kiosk, and it kept messing up their order. They couldn't figure out how to work it, so a guy had to come. The guy that was working the cash register where in the line I was in, he had to go over there and put some little code in, scan his badge to try to redo the transaction or whatever. And then even when he did that, go back over there, and they still had a problem with it. It took them a little while to be able to check out and to leave. I don't know. I might have left before they did. But anyway, it took time. So then you still had to have that guy go over there and then help them out. And matter of fact, what was funny was a guy behind me, because I was buying like a bottle of wine, whatever. So I already knew that if I couldn't go to self checkout, because that's taking time and it's going to take away from him being over there checking out people himself. So I told the guy behind me, I said, hey, if you want to go over there, you can go ahead and go over there if you want to. I'm waiting on him. And the guy behind me said, oh, no. He said, no, every time I go to that self checkout, there's always a problem. And he said, I just rather wait for a human being to check me out. And I'm the same way. Wherever I go, I'd rather get in line and have a cashier check me out than to go to a self checkout line. Cause I mean, I've heard too many stories of people getting like in trouble, like getting like arrested or fined or something like that, had to go to court for theft. And a lot of times it was like, say it was a mistake because they might have like forgot to put, something's in the buggy and they forgot to scan it, or something scanned, I don't know, maybe something they scanned wrong, but it wasn't their fault. It was legitimate, not their fault, but they had to go through this whole process, this court process to clear their names. And I'm like, nah, I just rather go and get have somebody, a human being check me out. And besides, a lot of time when I'm at the grocery store, I get paper sacks in a way because I buy a lot of fruits and vegetables, and so my brother get paper sacks.
Turning what was supposed to be a seamless process into a time consuming one. With every stalled transaction, the efficiency retailers hoped for dwindles, eroding the financial benefits of these systems. One of the biggest surprises for retailers embracing self checkout has been the surge in shrinkage, or loss from theft. While theft is a common concern in retail, self checkout stations present a unique set of challenges that can significantly amplify losses. Some customers might take advantage of the less supervised nature of self checkout to scan items improperly, switch price tags, or simply walk out without paying. This honor system approach leaves retailers vulnerable to both intentional and accidental losses.
And that's why I think a lot of stores, when you scan items like say the HEB, you scan an item, the picture will pop up of what the item should look like. So that's kind of like the honor system. But one, it also helps curb theft, you know what I'm saying? Accidental or on purpose, because let's say you scan to something and different picture pops up and you still try to put it in the basket. Well, I mean, put it in your bag. Well, one, if it don't weigh right, you're going to get, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to get called over there to check it. Two, but if you somehow do get it, it's like you do produce. Produce is probably the easiest thing you can do. You get a high dollar apple and type in a low dollar apple code and put the, you know what I'm saying, put the weight on there and then go and put it down. I ain't never done it. I'm just saying it's probably would be easier. You know what I'm saying? But that picture's still gonna pop up. And let's say they catch you. Or if they catch you, they can say, well, this is a picture. This is what they scanned. This is what popped up because it's all gonna be recorded. And this is what they walked out with. So I mean, you can I don't understand why people try to steal because there are cameras from the time you walk in to the time you walk out, and even in the parking lot. They can watch your every move. And these cameras now, like super duper, got crisp, clear images.
Research indicates that stores with self checkout stations report a substantial increase in shrinkage, with some studies showing up to a 4% rise in loss rates. To combat this, retailers have attempted to install anti theft measures like weight sensors, AI powered cameras, and even stricter verification processes. However, these security enhancements come at a cost and aren't foolproof. As a result, the additional expenses to control theft often outweigh the initial savings self checkout was meant to deliver. Furthermore, employees are now tasked with a dual role of assisting customers and monitoring for potential
Dang,
theft,
why gotta be a brother they do that like that?
a
Yeah, that was
responsibility
Canada.
shift that can cause stress and impact job satisfaction. This adds an unforeseen layer to the cost equation as retailers try to balance theft prevention with customer support, creating an operational tug of war that complicates the supposed efficiencies of self checkout. While self checkout was intended to provide a convenient, quick option for customers, the reality has proven more complex. Studies show a mixed response from consumers regarding their self checkout experiences, with many citing frustrations over unclear instructions, technical malfunctions, and a perceived lack of support from in store staff. In fact, some surveys indicate that over 30% of shoppers actively avoid using self checkouts, preferring instead the personal touch and assistance of a human
And I'm
cashier.
one of them people because one, as much as I know we have to embrace technology and change, I try to hang on to the human touch, as they say, in communication, interaction, because I know humans need jobs and they got bills to pay. So when you sit there and you see a cashier standing at the end of the aisle waiting for you to come over, it don't matter where I go. I go to the grocery store, I can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, CVS, or whatever. Like I said, I'd rather go to I'd rather for there to be a cashier and I go there because I know number one, that person is on the clock and that person is there probably to pay bills, need the money. And if I skip over them and the people continue to skip over them to go to the self checkout, that that increases that person's chance of losing that job. But again, on the other foot, like I said, that person hopefully is going to school to learn how to do AI engineering and like software updating and programming and repair and stuff like that.
The detachment some customers feel in a self checkout line can negatively impact their perception of a retailer's brand. For customers who struggle with technology or simply prefer human interaction, self checkout stations can make the shopping experience feel cold and transactional. Retailers find themselves in a tricky position as they try to appeal to tech savvy customers without alienating those who value in person service. Additionally, there's an emotional component that's difficult to quantify, but impacts brand loyalty. The feeling of being left to do it yourself. For customers in a hurry or dealing with complex purchases, this hands off approach can lead to frustration and impatience, ultimately affecting their likelihood of returning. Ironically, what was supposed to be a faster, more efficient process has turned into a point of friction, especially as self checkout stations become more widespread and customers face longer lines at these machines than anticipated. As we've explored, self checkout has turned out to be a double edged sword for many retailers. What began as a promising innovation in cost savings and customer convenience has revealed unforeseen challenges that cut into the bottom line. From the rising expenses of maintenance and upgrades to the loss prevention hurdles and the impact on customer satisfaction, self checkout systems often bring more complexity than simplicity to the retail experience. Ultimately, the question remains: is self checkout sustainable for the long term? Or will it go the way of other once promising retail innovations that ultimately fell short? Some retailers may choose to refine and evolve self checkout technology, while others might reduce or phase out these stations altogether in favor of a return to human interaction. In the end, what matters most is the balance between cost efficiency and the quality of the customer experience. As you think about your own shopping experiences, what role do you believe self checkout should play in the future of retail?
I believe that self checkout really is here to stay. Now they're going, they're just working out the bugs and the kinks. Eventually, they'll figure out how to get it streamlined, like any other modern technology. It's just going to take a little while, but you're still going to need cashiers. They may have less self checkout and more cashiers that'll be there, or they can do like I say with the like I said the HEB out here. They have like a section where there's like self checkout lanes, maybe like one, two, one, two, three, four. I think it might be one, two, three, four, eight, maybe eight of them. That's their self checkout places, spots, kiosks. But you got one or two people standing up front, watching, making sure that not really watching if you steal, just making sure if there's an error or something happen, they can go over there and fix it. But hey, like I said, if you don't want to worry about it and you want to stay, make sure you are still able to get a job, make good money, you can learn. As a matter of fact, let me look at something right quick. I Googled, I said, Google AI future in the job market. And, the AI answer came. It said artificial intelligence is expected to transform the job market by automating many tasks, which could lead to number one, job loss. Some estimate that AI could replace up to 85 million jobs by 2025. Now, this was written in January the 9th, I believe that part was, of 2024. Jobs that are you talking about 85 million jobs within a year? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That was the projection in this time last year. Okay, so jobs that are most likely to be automated include cashiers, which we just saw a video of, telemarketers, which hell is bad enough. You get cats that don't even speak a lick of English reading you prompts. Now you're gonna have the computer reading you prompts. Well, they already do it though. With when you call, like if I'm at my, at work and I call in a prescription, it's automated lines, and I hate them automated lines. My gosh. Automated lines and people who pick up the phone and ain't from this country. I mean, not trying to show any kind of bigotry or racism, nothing, but they don't understand you. You don't understand them, and you know they're reading prompts and they're just going by that, and they don't understand nothing you're really saying, and it gets frustrating. And you want to speak to somebody who speaks your language, and you would want that in any country. So when it speaks your language and understand what you're saying, because you're already frustrated because you calling a number like to clarify something or to fix something most of the time. Data entry clerks, customer service agents, yep. Drivers, because they already got them driverless cars and the driverless trucks and the trains, so that's coming. Factory workers, you saw the video with Amazon with this warehouse with all these robots doing everything. All you got is somebody who's in the back. Well, we'll talk about what they're doing. Administrative assistants, paralegals, because you got the AI who know everything. Just ask a paralegal a question and boom, they'll spit out the information in milliseconds. And some copywriters, I don't know what the heck the copyright is. Instead of new jobs, AI could also lead to new jobs such as machine learning engineer, AI ethics specialist, AI and cybersecurity research. That's what I was saying a while ago. Job role changes, employee may take on new roles that work alongside AI powered systems. So you need to learn it. Increase focus on strategic tasks. AI can automate repetitive tasks, freeing up time for employees to focus on more strategic tasks, like mopping. But no, they got they got robot, like what do you call them, little mops, that little circle things? I forgot what it's called. But they mop and sweep and shoot. Some jobs that are less likely to be replaced by AI include tech jobs such as software engineer, creative jobs such as writers. I don't know. I think Hollywood going through a problem with that one. Medical jobs such as physical therapists, nurses for the most part, person to person roles such as customer service, jobs that involve more complex tasks and human interaction such as teachers, nurses, and therapists. Now they're trying to get teachers to do it, but again, some things you got to have a human touch to, because they got to understand what you're feeling. Let's say like something like coaching or even teaching. You in a class of 30 kids, so you got 30 different personalities, all going through different things at the same time. You have to know how to interact with them kids to get, or that particular specific kid to get the most out of that child. You might can like talk real nice and sweet to some of these kids, but then some of the other kids you might have to fuss at. I mean, let's just be honest. Some kids you may have to just look at. Some kids just might want to participate just on GP. Robot ain't gonna be able to understand that, know when to do that. I mean, they probably can put that in, but nah, you want to have like I say somebody with a personal touch on that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you'd like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box. There are links there down there you can click on to help support us there. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.